Hey, welcome to Mullen Stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. Today, I want to talk to you, especially about the upcoming week, where some parts of the stock market may experience some volatility, and what to expect from Mullen. So, in the early part of this week, I believe many people are still trying to make sense of the recent 8K that came out. But if we look at the data points, Wednesday and Thursday are the days you should watch out for. Wednesday brings the PPI, and Thursday the CPI, both of which are closely watched. I think time is moving swiftly right now. However, during this week there are several Fed speeches scheduled, which often create more uncertainty in the stock market. Nevertheless, Wednesday and Thursday are the days to keep an eye on. Mullen stock price has been hovering around 45 cents for the past week, despite the 8K. Perhaps this means that larger investors are starting to show interest, and it might suggest that the stock may not drop significantly from here. Besides this, there's also information on Twitter that Romeo Nicola has recently recruited 5 new members to their team, and Mullen has been notably silent for the past week or longer. But we can always speculate about who is hiring whom and for what purpose, because this is indeed happening. We know that Mullen has taken possession of all of Romeo assets and intends to transport them to their facility to start battery pack production. I believe this is good news. There may not be any significant news this week, and we may only find out during the next quarterly report, which concludes at the end of December, or they might hint at it during the Q4 earnings before that. Keep in mind that this is just the 5th new hire, and many people are not on LinkedIn, which means they might be hiring even more people. But this is the information we have. I think in general, Mullen management should stick to their plans and focus on production, as they are expecting approximately $584 million in revenue by 2024, which is quite substantial. However, at this point, it may not be profitable for earnings, perhaps not until late 2025. Nevertheless, I believe management and investors should pay attention to such improvements. Many things can be corrected. I have raised this issue several times, but in 2024, we are expecting revenue of approximately $584 million, and this is a significant milestone. So, while there may not be profits in this phase, it could happen by late 2025. During this period, I believe that management and investors should focus on making improvements, as many things can be fixed. As I've mentioned before, the issues with NASDAQ for Mullen will either resolve or not in the coming 15 to 20 days. We will know if Mullen is granted a real 180-day extension, or if they are shifted to OTC. However, even in this scenario, if they move to OTC, they can still generate revenue, and the production will continue. But if you are involved with Mullen in any lawsuit, or for any other reason, remember that the 2023 projections might differ slightly, given recent developments. I think in 2023 we might see the production of around 660 M1 vehicles, generating approximately $20 million in revenue. In the case of M3, instead of the previous estimate of 930, it's likely to be around 150 according to recent reports. So this makes a significant difference for 2023. However, these are just my thoughts. Regarding updates, it seems that in my opinion, 10 M3 vehicles have not been delivered yet. I believe this is related to their efforts to obtain a dealer license. As for the dealer license, I'm not entirely sure, but it appears that Randy Marin and MGT are both in North Carolina, and MGT should be the owner of those 10 M3. So the dealer license should have been obtained by now, I think. Apart from this update, airbags have not been received yet, which is a major concern. I believe approximately $23 million in revenue depends on this issue because without airbags, M1 cannot obtain EPA certification. And without that, there will be no deliveries and no revenue. These are all interconnected issues, so the delay in receiving airbags is indeed unfortunate. Based on the research I have conducted about Mullen, it's somewhat challenging to say, but when a company succeeds in a scenario like the $1 bid rule, you don't look at NASDAQ and other aspects. However, when you examine the cases, the hearing panel's opinion is that it doesn't indicate much else. It only addresses the issue. So, this might be a one-off scenario, but I know that many companies don't fully comply with this rule. They simply ignore it. However, some people think it's an easy solution, that Mullen can rectify it just by holding an annual meeting. So perhaps it's coming this week, which is why I'm discussing it. But when I talked about it, many people might not have understood what it's about. Since shareholders aren't allowed to speak, an 8K was filed, so yes, this is a summary of what the 8K is about, just in 10 seconds. Please share your thoughts on Mullen. For technicals, we can't say anything specific. There are some support levels around 45 cents and 42 cents that you should watch for next week, but despite the lower volume, it's holding up so far, so that should also be considered. Just on Friday, 13.97 million shares were traded, so please share your thoughts on Mullen. Do you think there could be any other news, and if so, what? There's only one thing that could be stuck in limbo. That's the NASDAQ hearing, and I say it might be somewhere between October 5th and 20th. And according to NASDAQ rules, most likely you will know the outcome 3 days after the hearing. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about Mullen stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.